Hey, Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Welcome to Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Okay, today, thoughts are contagious. There are two ways to look at this. Your thoughts manifest into behaviors which other people will pick up and begin to emulate. You know the old saying, everybody brightens up a room, some people when they come into it, some people when they leave it. The point is that notion of brightening up a room is not that person's opinion. It is the opinion of the perceiver, the other person's. So that's one way to look at it, but I'm more concerned about the second way of looking at the way thoughts are contagious. And that is that when you plant a thought in your mind and you fertilize it and you allow it to grow, it creates other thoughts. It's like, planting a corn seed, and before you know it, there's a stalk with 25 years of corn on it. That's the way thoughts are. It's a process that I call cognitive cascading. Now, I have not heard that term coined by anybody else. It's my term. However, if in fact any of you have heard of that term, let me know so that I can give the actual individual that developed the term, aside from myself, credit for it. Here's what I mean by cognitive cascading. You wake up in the morning and your alarm didn't go off for some reason, so you start the day pissed off. You got that negative thought in your head. Now you get it. You're going to get to work a little bit late. You start late. You're in traffic now that you didn't expect. So now you're even more pissed off. And you get to work and you realize now because you're late, somebody pulled into your parking spot. So now you're even more pissed off. And by the time you get into the office, it was one thought after another thought after another thought. That notion of being pissed off are really just thoughts that occur. And we are going through this process of cognitive cascading. One thought leads to another thought, leads to another thought, leads to another thought. I just gave you an example of a negative process, but it also works positively. And by that, I mean, if you have a thought of love, of joy, of peace, of gratitude, and you allow that thought to sit, it will manifest into other thoughts, which will be thoughts of love and joy and peace and gratitude. The whole idea is that you as an individual, I as an individual, we cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought because it creates many, many more thoughts. Think about that. Think about that process of cognitive cascading and what we can do to make sure that all of our thoughts are positive. Look, you cannot stop a negative thought from entering into your mind. They just pop up. I use Ghostbusters a lot. Do you remember Dan Aykroyd at the end of the first Ghostbusters movie when he said, "I couldn't help it. It just popped into my mind." And all of a sudden, Mr. Stay Puft appeared as a 50-foot demon. Negative thoughts are going to pop into your mind. The question is, do we allow them to stay there? They knock on the door, do we invite them in? Do we offer them a cup of tea or a beer? Do we allow them to stay the night? That's up to you. A negative thought's going to pop into your head. However, you have the ability to close the door on them. You have the ability to say, go to hell, I don't want you. That's your choice. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that process, because ultimately, while you don't have the option of whether a negative thought will enter into your mind, we always get these thoughts of fear, worry, doubt, indecision, depression. But we have the ability to clip their roots. We have the ability to stop them in their tracks. That's the beauty of what I'm talking about here, the choices we can make, and we can prevent this notion of cognitive cascading from allowing our behaviors to debilitate, because one negative thought leads to another, leads to another. Replace it with a positive thought, and that cognitive cascading will in fact work in your favor. This is Bill Shaka, and remember, never underestimate an old man with a guitar. See you soon.